Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azim bin Ahmad Fauzi. My magic number is AA191548. So now I would like to talk about the introduction of our project, that is smart restaurant counter, or visitor smart restaurant counter. So for introduction, into this era many technologies are introduced all over the world. The existence of this smart visitor counter is also one example of technology that has grown rapidly. This is because the use of smart visitors counter is increasing about almost everywhere. For example, in shopping malls, grocery stores, restaurants, and so on. Why was this smart visitor counter technology introduced? This is because it can provide many benefits to entrepreneurs and buyers. So in first generation of this technology, it is used in the UK, set up by Business Blueprints in 1988. They use infrared beam counters in the counter of Meadow. Okay, so that is um, outside Sheffield, South Yorkshire, England. They cover all 14 entrants and record a total of 20 million buyers each year. Then, in second generation, that is between 2005 and 2011, they have used the thermal counter as a smart visitor counter. In 2012 until 2016, that is in the third generation, this technology changed into video and Wi-Fi computation due to increased Wi-Fi usage and optimizing Wi-Fi resources. As we all know, the use of smart visitor counter has already received a warm response in field of business, such as shopping malls and restaurants. This is because it is easy to use and doesn't have to use a high cost to build it. As in restaurants, this technology is very suitable to use because we can identify and calculate the number of customers who enter our restaurant. In turn, it can increase the total financial income. Next, in the current of the COVID-19 pandemic, this technology is much needed because it can control the quantity of customers that should be in a restaurant in a given time. This aims to curb the spread of this epidemic. Indirectly, we are able to save many lives from being infected by this epidemic. Other than that, human effects to count the number of people were eliminated because this project is done automatic person calculation with the help of two sensors on the door frame. That's all.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Karan Azmi bin Muhammad. My matrix number is AA191588. Today I will be presenting about our project background and our problem statement. So, Smart Visitor Counter uses electronic machine system to operate and conduct its functionality, which is basically it can generate, record, and analyze the data of the visitor that comes and leaves the restaurant automatically in the system. SVC provides user-friendly interface that will display the output data obtained by the system in the simplest and comprehensive way to simplify for the user to learn and understand the system behaviors in a short period of time. SVC also allows user to monitor the output produced as desired. The objective of SVC is solely to replace the previous data management system used in a restaurant to collect data from the number of people who have been treated or number of orders received manually that seems stale and traditional in the modern era of technology. Moreover, the data obtained from those systems are not fully accurate and might occur errors from human negligence. Because of that, the SVC comes as alternate way as an alternate way to help the industry, especially for restaurant operators, to improve their business plan and management that needs the accurate data to do evaluation and analysis for business purposes. SVC basically includes two main parts of divisions, the business management and the health security. For business management division, consists of the recording, generating and analyzing the condition and business behaviors. For the health security part, it consists of two of the security system setting that we can make some adjustment on the number of people who may enter into the restaurant. SVC has a big opportunity to become one of the most popular system due to the condition of the world facing right now, which there are several regulations that need to be adhered, and also due to the natural behavior in business, which is the improvement for the management in order to become a more competitive company. This time of need, this project is useful for restaurant owners, shops, hospitals, and offices as they can track the movement of people who went into their premises and also people going out of their premises. With the help of SVC, it is easier for the Ministry of Health to trace the people who are infected with the disease COVID-19. Okay, so for the next part, I will explain about the flowchart of our system. So firstly, we have the start, then next is the Arduino Uno. So next is the sensor. So when someone comes to a restaurant or any place, the sensor will detect that the person goes in. So the infrared proximity sensor will detect the if someone goes in, and then the LCD display will calculate in equals to x plus 1, then total y plus 1, out is equals to z, then n. So when people are going out of the premises or place, the infrared proximity sensor 2 will detect the person going out of the the premise. Then the LCD will display in equals to x total y minus 1, and then the out will be z plus 1. Then the process will end. X is current in count number, y is current total count number, z is current out count number. Okay, so that is all for my part. Thank you.
Okay, so for the next one is 5.0, that is cost analysis table. So this is the all component that we use for the project. First one is infrared proximity sensor. Quantity is 2, so 12 ringgit. Piezo speaker is 2 ringgit. LCD screen 11 ringgit. Red LED 5mm is 1 ringgit. Arduino Uno is 25. Rotary potentiometer small, that is 2 ringgit. Resistor 1 ringgit. 220 ohm resistor, that is 22 ringgit. So the total of amount that we use is 556 ringgit.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Azmi Ahmad Kamil. I am from section A, okay, group 9. So today I will explain about our group project, which is visitor counter at restaurant. So now I will proceed to do my part, which is circuit diagram. This is our circuit diagram, which we have discussed and we have designed it in the freezing, right? So we move to the schematic plan. So now in this diagram, we show you about our scenario. So this man will go enter to the restaurant, and the sensor at the door will react and will give signal to the LCD, and the LCD will react, will display the number of visitor enters the restaurant like this, right? So the in will +1 and the total will +1 also, because the number of visitors in the restaurant is 1. So next, after the visitor is exit from the restaurant, and okay, we show you. So the out will +1, total will -1, because this man is just exit the restaurant. So the number of visitors inside the restaurant is 0. Right, next we move to the complete coding. So this is our coding, which is we insert the syntax of LCD to use the function of LCD, and here we set the pin, the LCD pin, LED pin and sensor pin and other segment. And in the void setup, we set the LED pin and buzzer as output and the sensor pin as input. So after that, we put the character in the LCD by using the LCD.print. Right, so in the void loop, we define the while 1 as digital read by sensor pin 1. So if the sensor pin 1 is high, the current state will going to be 1, and the digital write LED pin will on, else the LED pin low and current state 0. Right, next, if the current state is not same with the previous state, okay, which means that current state is equal to 1. So info here, we define info +1. So LCD print, we set cursor, and LCD print will set the data inside the LCD, and after that we set the buzzer, which is tone, which 500 frequencies for 0.5 millisecond. So after that we move to the val 2, which is the sensor pin number 2, and if it's high, it will make the same as before, which is the current state is 1, and the LED pin, right, which is LED will on, LED tu nyala. And then after that, if else, digital write LED pin will go low, and current state will be 0. So here, if the current state is not same as the previous state, number 2, okay, which means that info number 2 is info 2 +1. So as like before, same as before, we set the LCD print, okay, to insert the data inside the LCD, and then just as before too, which is we set the tone, buzzer, which is 500 frequency also, and delay 500. Then that in total, for total, we just use define it info 1 minus info 2, and LCD will display the total number by using the bracket total here. Right, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Aiman Haikal bin Abdul. My number matrix is AA191682. For my part, I will explain about brief discussion and conclusion. Okay, first, for brief discussion, this is a table about this input-output of program. Input, 2 infrared sensor, and output is 1 LED red, 1 LCD, and 1 buzzer. Total for input is 2, and total for output is 3. Okay, next, this is a table about use function for repetition action. Okay, for red LED, it's for indicator of visitor past the restaurant. And buzzer, it is for emit beep sound for each passing visitor. And for LCD is for display the number of visitor enter and exit the restaurant. Okay, next is table about plan what library should be used. Okay, infrared library is to use infrared function. Okay, that's all for brief discussion.
Okay, so for my last part is 9.0, that is commercialization. So for commercialization, that's basically about the product that we build. We want to publish to public because of the advantages and uh, the quality of our project. So the first one, uh, this technology has grown rapidly almost all over the world because it makes things easier. As you all know, there are many benefits we can get from use this technology. Uh, Among them, the use of the smart visitor gives an overview of some of the key reasons that are important of any type of business. Staying hours help determine which areas your restaurant's customer spend the most. This will help you better understand your user customer and thus allow you to optimize your layout to make the most of the way your customers interact, use and move around your space. Next, it can improve operational restaurant process, identifying customer eating patterns in the dining room offers the potential of the to optimize staff costs and efficiency. Analysis of customer behavior can indicate times and points at which staff levels can be reduced or increased during quiet or peak hours. Third one is it is also measured and increase marketing effectiveness. Tracking the performance of your customers' presence throughout your business period can give you an indication of the success of your marketing campaign. This will help you determine if a particular marketing channel is worth the, the investment and give you a method to improve it. Fourth, you can learn about customer strengths. While customer attendance data varies greatly depending on other types of styles as well as taste, looking at trends in general can provide valuable insight into how the industry is performing overall. Next, increase conversion rates and results. Get an idea of when people visit your restaurant and how long they stay in your restaurant. This will help you get to know your customer better. All of this idea will allow you to fully understand your buyers and thus attract more customers to buy to increase conversion rates and revenue. Thus, we can optimize staff schedule, scheduling. Retail staff need balance. You want to have enough people serve customers, but you don't want too many of your restaurant staff and put too many employees on the payroll. In addition, we can translate data to optimize performance in our restaurants. Counting people gives you the data that you need to understand and compare performance in your restaurant over time. This allows you to correct common mistake to increase the number of customers eating at your restaurant. Other than that, we can enhance eco-track. People who calculate census have the ability to reduce on energy consumption when a restaurant is detected by inter of these customers can reduce energy costs and unnecessary facilities. Finally, we can customize the need of new customers. Although current measures to control the spread of COVID-19 have been tightened, customers are still given the opportunity to enjoy the food available at our restaurant. This technology will track the quota of customers who need to be in the restaurant at a certain time to avoid congestion in the restaurant. On the other hand, it can help reduce the rate of spirit of this pandemic. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, for conclusion, taking everything into account, individuals telling framework can be utilized for a capacity as essential as gathering traffic information. Notwithstanding, the information can be utilized to do much more. You can become familiar with your clients and their inclinations, making it simpler to improve consumer loyalty levels and thus deals. You may likewise find out about how adequately your store works, causing you actualize technique that improve tasks and smooth out head conveyance. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.